smartphone.
Okay. You don't have a smartphone. So do you have an iPad?
No.
Okay. What I will do, Hank, is I have an extra phone that is a smartphone. Let me just think. Usually I just connect it to Wi-Fi when I'm abroad. And I can also add money to it. So I
Wouldn't my CDC card be enough?
well, so yes, but to get the green pass in Italy will likely be an app on a phone or
If I didn't have the green pass, does that mean?
well, so this is all still, it's not even in effect yet. So I will be able to update you all on the newest and the procedures. Like in the next month, I'll have a lot more information. There has to be something for people who do not have smartphones. But yes, definitely bring your COVID card. I'm going to laminate mine because it's just, a little piece of cardboard. Take a picture of the front and the back and keep it on Hank, on your phone. I'll take a picture. Just make sure you make copies of it. Just like I do with my regular passport, I'm going to make copies of my COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
Now, I've been kind of told, given the heads up, don't laminate your card because we may have to get booster shots in the near future.
Oh, that's very smart thinking. And you're right. When I went to India and I got vaccinations, they gave me, it's just a little yellow, not laminated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
go back to India.
yeah, not right now.
No, oh my gosh, no. Yes.
So yeah, that was one of the biggest questions is how.
Thank you for saying that, because I was thinking I was being so smart that I was going to laminate my card.
Yeah, don't laminate it so quickly because we may have to add to it.
So,
but I'm fully vaccinated as well. I'm
wonderful, and I am thinking that everyone who's coming on this trip it will have been vaccinated.
Yeah,
it will. It's just so exciting news that for now, a year, when the trip was canceled last year, and then being a little nervous. This was months ago. Will it be a go again? When is Europe going to open? It was just such wonderful news to wake up and to have news from colleagues there they have missed the American tourists. Their main industry is in Sicily, tourism and agriculture. And in Europe, it's just been a really struggle for them. So for this very exciting news that they are able to open, their prime minister is the one who made the announcement 2 days ago that they'll be opening as of, they're saying May 15th. So that gives us June, July, that gives us 3 full months for them to, so I was looking at information. Right now in the United States, we're about at, I think, a 60% vaccination rate, 60 per 100 people. In Italy, they're at about 40%. So they need to catch up. They've had a little bit of difficulty with their vaccination rollout, but they're getting there, and things are opening. So we're poised to go and to have a wonderful time.
Now, Vicki.
Yes.
Switching directions.
Okay.
Getting back to the U.S. from Sicily.
Yes.
Apparently, we need a negative COVID test within 72 hours of the flight, right?
Okay, so that is the current guideline. I do expect that to change for vaccinated individuals by the time August comes. So if that is the case, Hank, I will get all of that information for us. And just like when I was in Mexico last month, we had arranged at the, well, through the resort, we had our negative tests done there. So if it is the case that even as vaccinated individuals, you need a negative test to return, I will have all that information for us.
Okay, that's what I had assumed, but I just wanted to be.
Yeah. And the thing is, so to go to Europe, they are not requiring a negative test unless you're unvaccinated. So it is my thinking that it is going to be the same for Americans returning to the United States by that point.
Hopefully.
But don't worry, if that's the case, we will arrange for us all to have the test in enough time to get the results back within the time that you get back to the United States.
Or else you can get us hotel rooms for a year in Sicily.
Yes, that was my next part of the segment. We're gonna buy a villa. So Renee, you know, it might be the same thing on the cruise ship. We still don't know yet with Star Clipper what their policies are going to be, but they will relay everything to us and they will take care of everything.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
So, so yes, so like I said, I talked to the vineyard, the people at the vineyard last week. Everything is set to be a go. Currently, as of today, the archaeological site of the Valley of the Temples is still not open, which is kind of ridiculous because it's all outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, but that is set to open. I'm talking to our guide there on a weekly basis. So we're going to have a fabulous time. Would you all like to see some pictures and then you can ask me some more questions?
Sure.
Okay, because I have, let me share my screen. And then I can go like this and go back to the beginning. Okay. I don't know why, I have to get rid of that, sorry. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
So
Let me do from beginning. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Sun-Drenched Sicily. Okay. So I have to say, of all the archaeological sites that I've been to around the world, this is my favorite. This is the Valley of the Temples. It's in a town called Agrigento, which is on the southern coast of Sicily. So we will visit, I'll go back to this, but we'll visit this site. I think it's on day 4. And it's spectacular. There are 7 or 8 temples dating back 3,000 years. This temple here is the Temple of Concordia. It has never been reconstructed. So this has been standing as it is for 3,000 years. The facade, this front, is the symbol for UNESCO. So, you know, it's better, this site has better preserved temples than what you'll see in a lot of Greece. So here is the symbol of Sicily. It used to be, now I'm not a historian, this is what I'm remembering, it used to be called the part of Italy. So you can see the boot of Italy here.
yeah.
It's not all of Italy. So this portion, Sicily is, can you see my cursor or no?
We can.
Okay, this is Sicily here. This is part of Italy. This whole region was called the Kingdom of Three Sicilies. So Sicily encompassed part of mainland Italy at one point. This interesting like Medusa head with the 3 legs. I'll let our guide tell us what that means. I've heard it a million times, I still can't remember. But Sicily is kind of a triangle, as you can see here. So that is part of the shape, is to represent the triangular shape. And then of course the Medusa head means something and the legs mean something, but I can't remember. I don't know why these are kind of out of order. Sorry about that. So we are going to, I'm going to go out of order. I mean, I'm going to put the photos in order. We'll start in Palermo. Palermo is the capital of Sicily. It is a beautiful, historical, gritty city, and I love it. The people there, you know, again, maybe 25 years ago, people thought it was pretty dangerous. There was a lot of mafia there, and the mafia at that time was very closely linked to the government. And I believe in the late 70s, early 80s, there were two judges who were fighting against mafia in the government, and they were killed. Both of them were killed separately by bombing. And after that point, it was basically a revolution of the people against the mafia and the government. Since then, Sicily is, you know, as a female, I've walked alone at night, not in every part of Sicily, like I wouldn't maybe do in New York City, but the people are wonderful and warm and friendly. And it is not the city that it was, you know, 25 years ago. This is the Cathedral of Palermo. It is a wonderful example of Arab Norman architecture. And it actually, what you see behind me, this is the interior of the Cathedral of Monreal. It has more gold mosaics than the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. It is an amazing sight to behold when you go inside. And again, you know, my memory isn't great, but the one thing about both the Cathedral of Palermo and the Cathedral of Monreal is that they were built in a time of great religious tolerance. So there was a king at the time, can't remember his name, but he and his father were both kings sequentially. One of them was called the good and one was called the bad. Well, the one who was the good is the one who had these cathedrals built in his rule. And there were a lot of Arabs and Muslims in Sicily at that time. Sicily over the millennia have been conquered by many different civilizations. First, the Phoenicians, which are the current day Lebanese, were the first to inhabit the island thousands of years ago. Then, you know, again, I don't know the order, but the Arabs, and then they brought the Muslim reign. And then, you know, the Spanish were in control of Sicily for about 600 years. So because of that, you see a lot of different architecture, and different from other parts of Italy. You see it reflected in the food. A lot of, you know, couscous and spices that you might normally have in the Middle East and in Northern Africa. So this architecture, this king, they hired workers who were Muslim workers. So inside the Monreal Cathedral, you're going to see symbolism that is Muslim and even Jewish in a Christian cathedral. So it's really spectacular. This is another viewpoint of the Palermo Cathedral. So we start our trip in Palermo. We will have 3 nights there. This is our wonderful guide. We're going to have Marco. He does a foodie walking tour that is very, very fun around Palermo, and he gives us some history too. And what he is holding there is probably the most Sicilian dish that I can think of. It's called, depending on where you're from in Sicily, arancini or arancine, depending on the region of Sicily. So what they are is these wonderful like risotto balls. And typically the typical inside would have a little bit of pork, some peas, and a little bit of ragu sauce. And you just pick them up with your hand and you eat them, and they're delicious. So we're going to do a really fun walking tour around the city. This is something that I will dare anyone to try. I haven't tried it, but it is a really authentic Sicilian dish that's made with things that, you know, tripe and heart and lung, but they claim it's good. I'm not going to try it, but you'll get to sample it if you like. We walk through a couple of really amazing markets on this tour. And, you'll just see, fruits and vegetables that we don't get in the United States. As I had mentioned before, Sicily is predominantly, it's an agricultural island. It's the largest island in the Mediterranean. It gets a lot of sun, and the fruit and the vegetables there, and the olives and the wine. It's really become a very well-known wine region, especially around Etna. So, we'll walk through the markets. There are people selling fish. These markets are there in different parts of the city pretty much every day. The locals go and they buy their produce there every day. The restaurateurs go and they get their seafood there. So it's really a fun local experience. And where our hotel is, we're in close proximity. We can walk to all of these things. I mean, look at this. Look at that eggplant and the cauliflower and it looks like pepperoncini back there. This one I think is called the Ballaro Market. It's wonderful. This was a stop we did in a very local bar. This was a group I had maybe 3-4 years ago. And we went in, I forget what we tried, but it was some local aperitivo, I think. Again, this is one of the squares in Palermo. This is the outside. From Palermo, I believe on day 2, we will go to the Cathedral of Monreale. Monreale is like a suburb of Palermo. It's about 30 minutes away. We will have a wonderful guide. It's a woman I've known now for about 12 years. Her name is Juicy. She is basically a walking encyclopedia. She speaks about 6 languages fluently. An amazing woman, a Sicilian, and you can tell she has a love for what she does. She is going to give us the tour of this magnificent cathedral. She can tell you all the symbolism. You can see here this little symbol here. Within that, I think that is supposed to be like an artichoke. And she tells the meaning of that. In these stars. You see, I think there are some Hebrew, not Hebrew, Jewish symbolism. It's really an amazing. There is symbolism throughout. Even the way that Christ is holding his hands there symbolizes the Father, the three, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. There is symbolism throughout. You could spend a week looking at all across the inside. It is the New Testament and then the Old Testament displayed. So it's basically a story in gold mosaic leaf. Okay, so then we go, I had started on the Valley of the Temples. This is one of the, I think this might be the Temple of Juno, I can't remember. But again, just look at this. It is such a beautiful archaeological site. It is set on a high plateau overlooking, basically at that point, you're about 100 miles from the coast of Africa, from Tunisia. You're very close. You're high on this plateau overlooking the sea. It's beautiful. There are olive trees in there, or there's one that's about, they're saying is about 1,000 years old. It's gorgeous. This is out of focus, but for my younger daughter's high school graduation, I took her and 2 of her friends to Sicily. I dragged them to, we were at the beach, we stayed in Agrigento, but I made them go here and they were so happy they went. But this is in front of the Temple of Concordia. This is held as an example of a perfect, it has something to do with geometry and with like the perfect number in nature. And our guide will explain it to us, but the reason UNESCO chose this as its symbol is because of the perfect proportions of this temple. Years ago, there was an amazing, my pictures aren't very good. I'm sorry about that. These are mine. an amazing art exhibit from I think it was a Polish, I believe he's Polish, sculptor named Miturai. And it was amazing to have the juxtaposition of these kind of modern sculptures in these ancient temples. And several of his sculptures are in Pompeii still. Very beautiful. So we leave Palermo. On our way to Palermo, we go to the Valley of the Temples just for that visit, and we continue our drive to the east coast of Sicily, a beautiful white town called Ortigia. This is Ortigia. This little piazza is considered to be one of the most beautiful piazzas in all of Italy. It is white and gleaming with the limestone of that area. This cathedral is also spectacular, and you can't see it well here, but this was once a temple 2,000 years ago that over the millennia was used and recycled, and it's now a Catholic cathedral. They kept the remnants. You can see on the side here the columns from the first temple. So this beautiful cathedral was constructed on the site of a temple. So that's, really shows again the tolerance in Italy. They didn't wreck it. They didn't in Sicily. They didn't knock the temple down. They used the temple as a Christian site, and then they built, they added to it. So our hotel is literally behind, see this pink building right here? That is our hotel. Yay! It's awesome. It's in a great location. Ortigia is tiny. It's very small. You can walk around it. Tons of shops, tons of restaurants. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is another view. There are a couple important things. The cathedral's important. Adjacent to the cathedral, there's a small church. And basically the main reason that church is famous is there's a famous Caravaggio in that church. And, we'll go and visit the Caravaggio. You learn that the patron saint of Syracuse, which is the larger town around Ortigia, is Saint Lucy. That is the Caravaggio that's in that church is the killing of Saint Lucy. So this is inside of the cathedral. So you can see here one of the old columns of the temple. This is the little church with the Caravaggio in it. Again, the church is not even inside. It's not much to look at, but it has a pretty important painting inside. Now, I love food, and one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my life was this one. There is another Sicilian dish called pasta alla norma. It's Sicilian, and it is very simple. It's eggplant, and you might have never had this before. Ricotta you have it at breakfast, even in the morning. Freshly made ricotta with no sugar, no salt, at most breakfast. This has something called ricotta salata, which is a dried and aged ricotta cheese. And that's what you see flaked on top. And anyways, I took a picture because it was so good. These are the ruins of another temple that are on Ortigia. I don't even remember, but our guide can tell us. But so, you just walk around pretty much everywhere in Italy and there's a ruin somewhere. This is our wine tasting. So we are going to a really wonderful vineyard called Buonavini is the name of the company. And they have vineyards all over Sicily. They make excellent wines, and we will go and have a really amazing, actually the food that we get is better than food in a lot of the restaurants. And they pair it with their wines, and we get to taste them all. We get to learn about them while eating. And it's a really nice experience. Yeah, no, my gosh, it's Planeta. Buonavini, the company is Planeta. Buonavini is this particular vineyard of theirs. So we go and visit, the room with the casks, and you learn all about which ones are aged and which ones aren't. This is Viviana. She's the person, she's pretty much their main, not only is she a guide, but she's one of the winemakers there. This I just happened to visit. It was March one year. It happened to be unseasonably cold, but this is the grounds of the vineyard. They make their own olive oil as well. So we'll get to taste their olive oil. And of course, you'll have the chance to buy the wines, to buy the olive oil. They ship home. This is how they have us taste their olive oil, which is wonderful. Look at that. This is during the harvest. The harvest in Sicily is typically in October. This is how they do it. Everything is done by hand at Planeta. And in most places, I have never seen, in the places I've been in Italy, they have a machine that shakes trees and shakes limbs. I've always seen it done like this, and there are nets, you can see under here, nets that catch everything. And it's really a process done with love. That's one of the things I like most about Italy. The people who work the land, make the wine, they love what they do. Even the people who make the cheese. And this is another guide, Giuseppe. I don't think we'll have him guiding us, but I know he'll come and join us for a dinner one night. Watch out, Renee, he's a flirt.
Now, these guys have coats on. It's not going to be cold while we're there, is it?
Oh my God, it's going to be so hot when they were there.
Okay.
We were there in March of this year,
Okay.
and it poured buckets, and it was freezing, which was unseasonable. No, in August, it is going to be very, very warm.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So this, you can see Mount Etna in the background, and even in, Etna gets snow. They ski on Mount Etna. So I have only been there twice when there's been that much snow. But I will tell you, it erupts very frequently. I've been there 2 times there while it's erupted. The only problem that it ever really makes is one time I was there, and unfortunately the airport closed the day after I left. I was hoping to get stuck there just because they had to wait for the smoke to clear. And then it does, even in this town here is Taormina. That is our third. We're actually staying on the beach in a town called Giardini Naxos. It's below Taormina. And I'd say driving, it's about 30 minutes from here to the base of Etna, but even in Taormina, they get the soot from Etna when it does a big explosion. This is the bay of Taormina. Is called the Baia di Mazzaro. We'll be staying kind of around this corner in a much larger, this is just a teeny cove, but this is just to show you how beautiful. We will have the opportunity, like I said, the days when we're there, we have 3 days, we're going to be on the beach, at a resort on the beach. The only thing we really have planned on those days is we have a cooking lesson one morning, and then our last day is a free day. And we will definitely, I'm putting together, because I know people will want to do things, a private boat tour for those who want to do that. Some people might want to go to Etna and do a wine taste. You go to the top of Etna, and then on the way back down, you go and have another wine tasting lunch. So, these are things that we can do on the last full day, or you can sit at the beach and enjoy the Mediterranean Sea. This is a really pretty, Taormina is a real luxurious resort. They have a film festival every year. It's very small, very beautiful, very upscale. This is one of the, beautiful piazzas at night where everyone comes out. This is the, oh, so down here is Giardini Naxos. So we'll be staying here where the place I took this photo was up in Taormina, but we will be able to go to Taormina anytime we want. This, we did a private boat tour. In it, you know, again, it's a really nice way to get out on the water. This is another view from that piazza, Taormina. So you can see Taormina is perched very high above the water, but there is a funicular that goes down, right down to that little bay I have the picture of. This is where we're going to do our cooking lessons. So the chef at this restaurant will take us to the market. This is in Taormina in the morning. We'll go and we'll pick out our fish, the vegetables, what we want, and then we'll go back to the restaurant and do our cooking lesson. We did not make those. Those were not that I remember, but we made pasta and we made something. Here's the fish we had picked out at the market that morning. Cappuccino. This was the beginning of us making our pasta. And what I remember, yes, okay, look here. I forget the name of the pasta we made, but that she is rolling. It's basically the inside of an umbrella. You know, the little, the rods inside the umbrella. So that one was a difficult pasta to make, but it was really fun. And you really learn how. This is a hands-on cooking lesson. At the end, we get a certificate, and of course, we eat what we cook. This is just a nice view. What is this? This is not what we made. I think this was a farewell dinner. Just some example of Sicilian, lots of seafood. If you like seafood, you will be very happy in Sicily. It's another, oh yeah, that's a boat tour. That was so nice. There's my pasta alla norma. This is Taormina, yeah, cannolo. So do you know a cannolo is singular, cannoli is plural. This is the freshly made ricotta cheese.
Okay.
And this is what they do. They scoop it up in these little, you know, I forget what type of wood it is. It might be like a bamboo. And this is how a lot of times you'll see it served, and you just pour it out of there and it's in a nice shape. And it is so fresh and so delicious. Most places have it delivered every morning from a local farm. And that's the end. So I hope you're excited. Do you have questions about anything?
You know, I'll trust you just to kind of keep in touch with us on what's going to be required. Like you said, how to get into the country, how to get out of the country. I know my flight out, the directions had said, you know, early flight. Well, God, mine's like really early. Mine's like 7 a.m.
Renee, there are at least 2 other people with that same flight. The times, most times I've gone to Sicily and flown out of Catania, it is literally like, you know, you're waking up at 3:30. So it's normal. We will have a transfer for the really early people. And then if there is anyone on a later, there'll be another transfer, and that's included.
I think the basic flight is 6:55, right?
Yeah, there are, I haven't even gotten my airfare yet, but typically out of Catania, they are very early flights because most of them are connecting to another, you know, you're going to Rome or you're going to Paris, and they have the set times that those leave to go to the United States. So everyone, pretty much everyone, I'm sure will be in the same boat, and there will be a transfer. Don't worry about that. And it's going to be early. And we always joke the night before, are we going to stay up all night? You know, and then
done that before. Yeah.
I've never actually done it because I love my sleep so much, but.
Oh, I know. But when we were in Africa, yeah, South Africa, I did that.
So, you know, I want you all to know that I am, you know, I'm in touch with my colleagues there. almost every day, just because we've been friends for so long, and especially now that it's opening, I'm asking, let me know what's going on with the masks. And so I will definitely, an STI, we will keep you informed, and you will be in very, very good hands. If we need a negative test to return, we'll make sure that everyone gets that. So,
Okay, good.
yeah, I am just as excited as you all are to be traveling internationally and to feel that, let's hope that things get back to how they were.
Now, will we need a room between getting off Croatia and going to Sicily?
So okay, I forget what the promo was. There was a free flight.
Right.
I mean, I have everyone who's doing both, they're booked for the night of the 21st. So yes, that's all set.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if, like, for instance, Hank, are you flying in the 22nd?
I think I'm flying in the 21st. I think I'm taking the extra day.
Okay, perfect. So everyone, yeah, so the people coming from the Croatia trip definitely do. And then others who aren't doing Croatia, they could have opted to pay for that extra night.
Yeah.
So I haven't begun looking at that, but we did all the bookings starting from the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good, even if you're flying from the States, just to always arrive a day early, just to get caught up on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think what I'm doing for Croatia, but like you said, I think the night before was part of the tour.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, we'll be in really good hands. The guides that we have in Sicily are amazing, not only amazing people and friendly and warm, but so knowledgeable, where, it is really their passion and their love, and it shows. So, and I know that you'll end up leaving there feeling like you've made, friends for a lifetime. And that's such a nice feeling.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for showing us.
You'll let us know what's going on with the passports and all that whole thing?
Definitely. So Hank, I will be in touch with all of you through, I'm going to start, once I have more info, putting out group emails, just giving you updates. Yeah. Okay, this is what's going on. Actually, for the people who didn't arrive tonight, I'll do a summary for them, just about, the things that we talked about tonight, not the itinerary, not all of that. The nuts and bolts of, yes, we can get there. Yes, it is opening. This is what's happening. So I will start doing that on, at least once a month basis. And as we get closer, it'll be a lot more frequently.
Okay, all right, great.
Yeah, so don't worry about a thing. My email, can you all see the chat?
I can
Yes.
That.
Okay, I'm going to, you can email me directly at vparker@singlestravelintl.com. Also, I will post to the chat on the STI webpage for the Sicily tour.
Okay.
So I will definitely be in touch with you two and with everyone else.
Okay.
How many people are on this?
Right now, I think we're at 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And, we still have, I think, 4 spaces available.
Okay.
So, between now and then, who knows? We might be at full capacity. If not, 12 is a wonderful number.
Now, Tammy told us not to make flights until May 24th, right?
Oh, did she? I don't know. I think maybe
I don't remember that. Yeah. Because I've already got my flight. I had to change my Croatia flight. So yeah, okay. I've got my flights.
Yeah, if she said that, I'm sure she had a reason for saying that.
Well, I think she said the thing wouldn't go unless there were at least 10 people.
Oh.
So that by the 24th. So that's what she said. Don't.
Okay.
Make your flight go.
Hank, we are going.
Nothing's gonna stop it.
That is right. That is right.
And we're gonna eat and we're gonna drink.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're going to mangiamo is we eat. And beviamo, we will drink. So yeah, I'll teach you all some fun Italian phrases and the basics. How do you say hello? What time do you use this? What time do you use that? And yeah, it'll be fun. So we will have another meet and greet, I think 2 months before the trip. That's when I hope everyone joins, and it's a chance for us all to meet one another before the trip. Ask me any last minute question.
Like we did tonight?
Yeah, it'll be more of course, I'll answer any question anyone has, but hopefully by that point, we will have all the information. I will have given it to you in an email, and then that will be more, first of all, just for us to meet and see each other before meeting in person. And then of course, to answer any questions. I think that's set for 2 months before the trip.
Okay.
Yeah, this was kind of to like assuage any fears. Is it open? Is it not open? And like I said, so the Prime Minister of Italy has said they are opening. So and Greece has all their opening. I think it was May 4th. So yesterday, so Europe is opening, especially the countries that depend upon tourism.
Yeah.
So it's happening.
Yeah. Finally.
I know.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
It'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful. So yeah, so feel free to email me anytime you want. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Vicki.
Talk soon.
Yes. Great seeing you both.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.